So hello there, you bunch of sexy bastards. I hope you're having a great day. This is a topic that a lot of people have been requesting and asking for, and they always say the same question: Daniel, how are you allowed to travel so much? How are you able to travel so much? You must be so rich, you must have so much money. The answer to that is no, I do not have a lot of money at all. And I will tell you all my budget tips and tricks on how I budget travel. Let's get on with it. My first piece of advice to you is this. Get and download the Skyscanner app. Skyscanner is phenomenal. A lot of people spend money on flights. Like, oh, they'll be happy to pay £400 for a flight. Or, you know, a package deal that costs £2,000 for a week in Turkey. You know, people do that kind of thing. And you know what? Fair enough, that's great. You can do that with Jet2 and all these other package companies. I click on it and I say Glasgow, which is my nearest airport. So find your nearest airport. That could be London, Paris, JFK, whatever it is. Click Glasgow to everywhere. You have that option to click everywhere. You can choose a whole entire month. So you can choose July, August, June, whatever you want. So let's say I wanted to click on July. So Glasgow to everywhere, July. And it will come up all these places. So Glasgow to everywhere. And it will say somewhere like Copenhagen, £24. Return. Sometimes the dates are only 1 day. Sometimes they're 2 days. If you're happy, I go away for 2 days. You know, a weekend or whatever. I'll look for accommodation. Now, sacrifice is a big thing of mine. I go for hostels. Hostels are really good, but there's also the chance of Airbnb where you can get $16 a night, something like that, which is really cheap. I go for hostels. You can get them for as minimum as sometimes £5 a night, £10 a night. The thing I love about hostels is the atmosphere. So if you're a solo traveler, I would recommend hostels because you can get into an environment where you can meet so many amazing people. I actually went to Portugal in the summer. If you've seen my vlog, it's called How I Found My Soulmate. I'll put a link to it in the description. The people that were at that hostel, they're all going to be having a reunion this year. So I'm going to a reunion with the people that I met from a hostel, which is amazing. I love it. You might even meet your future partner there. You might be sitting there wary and thinking, hey, is it dangerous or not? It could be dangerous. Don't get too drunk. That's my only advice. Make sure you drink in moderation. And if you are staying in a hostel, you're going to need two things. This, a padlock. A padlock is a really good thing to have with you when you travel, because when you stay at hostels, sometimes you'll think that the hostel is going to be, you're only paying £12 a night, but you're actually not, because wanting to buy one of these, it could end up costing you £10. And then another thing you need is a towel. So if you bring a towel with you, that's good. Because some hostels, they make you pay for a towel, but you don't even get to keep the towel. You have to give it back at the end. And other hostels are good, you get towels and stuff. So do your research in the hostel. Make sure it's safe. Make sure it's not a hostel that's dirty. Make sure cleanliness is a thing. And look at the reviews. I always make sure to go for a nice clean hostel. I like small hostels because you sit in an environment where it's a round room and everybody is kind of not forced to talk to each other, but it's very easy. And everybody's able to communicate with each other. The budgeting, food and drinks. These are the things that are gonna kill you if you travel, literally. And if you're like me, food can actually kill you because I have an allergy to legumes and peas, beans, lentils, pulses. It sucks. So, always make sure to bring your medicine. That's another thing. Make sure to bring your medication. Make sure to get travel insurance before you go, because you could end up spending a lot of money getting out of a Belgian hospital because you're too drunk. That happened. Drink in moderation. I've already said this, but drink in moderation, because spending can cost you a lot on drinks. I'll give you an example. When you go to Copenhagen, Oslo, go to Zurich in Switzerland, Basel, all these places, and a lot of places in the Central Europe, they can get expensive. I've found myself spending £14 on a pint. That is nuts. So if you're spending a round or five, you know, it's going to cost you. Sometimes eating out, sometimes sacrifice that. You want to eat out a lot, maybe treat yourself, do it once or twice. Staying in a hostel, I would like to suggest that you buy in your own food and you cook it in the hostel. Sometimes hostels have essentials like pasta and things like that you can borrow, but I like to buy my own stuff because I like it to be fresh, I like it to be nice. My problem when I travel is that I don't eat enough and I probably drink too much. So I'm trying to find the balance there myself. I'm by no means a perfect traveller. I'm still learning the way. And I'll probably do another one of these videos in like a year or two's time. Nightclubs are the biggest killer for me. especially if you go to a big city like London, Barcelona. Barcelona, I went to a nightclub where they say it was free. You go in and the drinks are £15, €15, sorry. If you go to a nightclub in London, the entry fees are the thing. So if you go to 3 or 4 different clubs there, it's £25 for entry fee. I went to this one place where I spent £25 on me and someone else that didn't have cash. So he promised me a drink, didn't get me a drink. So I paid £50 on entry fee. And then I went to do a round of 5 drinks for us, which was 5 Jaeger bombs, thinking it would be like 30 quid. Nah, cost me 75 quid, plus all the drinks and all the other clubs that we'd been the night before. So you want a big one trip, which gets 2 weeks in Turkey in a nice sunshine. But for me, I like little trips here and there, because it keeps it exciting, it keeps life going, keeps me busy, and gives me so many memories. When you're travelling through Europe, there's a bus company called Flixbus. So I flew from Glasgow to Basel, and that was maybe £18. I stayed in Basel for 2 days. And then I went from Basel to a place called Mulhouse. And sometimes if you've got connections from places, if you've met someone in a hostel, you can actually find that you get places to stay when you travel to their country. So I met people from the hostel in Portugal, and I got to stay in accommodation in Switzerland for 2 nights. Then I moved on to Zurich, and then from Zurich I got on Flixbus, which cost me €8 to get to Frankfurt. You can get to a lot of different places within a week or 2. It does get tiring though. I had it all mapped out, so you can journey plan like that. I definitely recommend journey planning, because you don't want to leave things too last minute, because you can end up getting a flight having to pay £200. Make sure you have an empty bottle of, so that you don't need to spend money on water and things like that, because refilling your bottle of water can save you a lot of money. I don't get it. There are some places that have really good tap water. For example, Scotland has better tap water than the bottled water. Stay away from touristy restaurants. So if you're in a place like the Eiffel Tower, you know, you're in Prague, the city of Prague, there are some places, even in Prague, where you have to pay, you know, touristy prices, and the locals would not go there, okay, because the prices have just skyrocketed. Unless you really want to. I did have a nice beer outside the Sagrada Familia in Barcelona. If you're traveling between countries, try and buy all your essentials in the cheaper countries. For example, say you're going from Poland into Germany, I would suggest that you maybe buy all your soaps and things like that you need in Poland. Another piece of advice, which is kind of risky, I haven't done it myself yet, but I certainly want to try, is couch surfing. Couch surfing is a really cool app or website where strangers open up their house or their apartment or room. They give you their couch and you can sleep on their couch. Sometimes it's a really good way to meet people, sometimes it's a really creepy way to meet people. Sometimes guys expect young girls to stay with them in return for sexual favours, and it's really not cool. You know, there's reviews on there, so there are things that you can give ratings and stuff, so definitely do your research on the people, make sure it's someone that's credible. Take advantage of breakfast. It is essential. I stayed in hostels, and whenever I see that I've got breakfast included, I don't care if I've been out till 7 AM, breakfast starts at 7, I'll be out till 7 AM, I'll have 1 hour sleep, and I will still power through it, and I will get up, drunk as a skunk, or hungover as hell, and I will go to that breakfast, and I will make that breakfast. I go for 3 and 4 rounds of that breakfast, so that it fills me up and I don't need to spend as much money throughout the day. Don't go overboard on souvenirs. Photos are enough sometimes. Fridge magnets, if you see over here, I have my little fridge magnets. They are really cool. I like fridge magnets. I love fridge magnets. The other thing I would say is do things as a group. You know, if you're staying in a hostel, sometimes it's really cool to find out if they've got a pub crawl or they have a carpool. Maybe, for example, when I went to Portugal, they had buses and little transportation for us to go to the beach. So there was a beach. If I wanted to go there myself, it would be £30, £40 for a taxi there and 40 back. But whereas when I went with the group, we all went in buses of 9 that fit 9 people, and we all paid €10 each, which was great, and that was for there and back. If you want to drink, maybe buy some beers from the local stores. You can get them in places like Prague. It's 72 pence for it. It's cheaper than water here for beer, but always drink in moderation. It's coming from someone that has made that mistake way too many times when traveling. I'm getting better at that though. Don't take what you don't need. That's why sometimes I just pack hand luggage. If I'm away for 2 or 3 days, It's only hand luggage I need. That means I don't need to spend anything extra on luggage. Get out your comfort zone and smile and say hi. It's the one thing that I learned when I first started traveling. It's hard to just like say hi to people, because sometimes if you say hi and smile, you're not always going to get the best reaction. But in a hostel, if you say hi to someone, guaranteed they are going to say hi. Where are you from? What's it doing? Sure that the people you're becoming friends with aren't a really bad influence. They're not people that are going to try and rob you. They're not going to try and take advantage of you. Make sure to keep contact with people that you've met from your journeys, because you don't know where they could be traveling and you could possibly meet up. I've met up with some people that I've met, and they may just be as generous enough to give you a drive and a tour around their hometown. I hope this has been helpful for you. Make sure to like this video. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. I'm going to do much more videos like this. This is the first one I've done, the first ever of anything I've ever done like this. I hope you enjoyed it. There's going to probably be more in the future because I've got a lot of traveling to do. Have subscribed, turn on notifications and all that stuff. I will be very grateful for that. And make sure to check in the description for my Patreon account. All my lovely sponsors on there. I thank you so much for continuously donating every month. You guys are phenomenal. And to everybody, I just want you to say, keep on smiling. Keep on believing that you're an amazing individual that has a potential to be whoever, whatever, and wear and dress and be whatever you want to be. So don't let anybody try and stop you. And if anybody tells you anything different, tell them to stick their judgmental attitudes up their arse.